For town council meeting, let's stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's Jack H. I'm filling in for Jason. We'll start with a few announcements. Immediately prior to this meeting, we had an executive session meeting to discuss personnel and real estate. For some announcements, the town has hired a new full-time social worker that will start working sometime in December. Winterfest will take place on Saturday, December the 7th at McCandless Town Hall from 4 to 7 p.m. and we'll have fireworks. The town of McCandless has extended the application period until November 30th, 2024 for a variety of our boards and committees. Please visit our website if you wish to apply. Leaf pickup began on October 14th and will continue through December 13th. I have to tell you, I used to get hundreds of calls from people wanting to know when their leaves are going to get cut. They've done an amazing job this year. John, hats off to you and your crews because all I got was compliments.
Thank you. Pass that to Brad and the crew also.
There's going to be a public hearing tonight regarding the 2025 budget. And
We're gonna let Anna open.
turn this over to Anna.
Thank you all for this evening. I'm now going to call a public hearing on the proposed 2025 budget to order. Is there a presentation?
Yes, we have a brief presentation. As y'all know, the last two meetings, we have had budget presentations on the various general fund expenditures and revenues, as well as the capital projects and special revenue funds. Tonight, we're just going to recap that briefly before we take public comment. As you have seen, the 2025 proposed consolidated budget stands at 27.3 million. It's a 3% reduction from last year, mostly due to the use of the ARPA funds by the town. The proposed consolidated municipal budget is for the general fund is 19.7 million, almost 19.8. That includes a $1.6 million transfer in from general fund prior year fund balance to balance the budget. This is according to our fund balance policy that allows for that transfer to pull from fund balance to fund CIP. The CIP transfer for this year is $2.5 million. So we do have a little bit of a leeway. Again, 27.3 million. You can see how it's spread across the the 5 funds. We have about $6.5 million appropriated for CIP or capital improvement programs, including the road program, etc. You'll see that in just a second. Some of the highlights of the 2025 consolidated municipal budget. There is no property tax millage increase for the 20th consecutive year. We have 2 replacement vehicles for town administration and the building inspector. We are upgrading to a third-party automated payroll service. We have a tax software upgrade included in the budget. There are 3 replacement vehicles and outfitting for the police department at this time. Additional police capital equipment costs of $60,000. There's a 5% increase in the volunteer fire company contributions, $110,000 contribution to MFPAA or the ambulance authority. Training and staff development costs are included, as well as a capital equipment investment for the Department of Public Works of 1.6 million. Where that money comes from to support that budget mostly comes from 42% is earned income tax. 20% is real estate. Realty transfer tax makes up about 10% and business privilege 9%. And then there's sprinkling of other local and state and charges and fees, etc. For a total of $18 million. Where the money goes for the general fund, the expenditure classification, we have 46% of the general fund budget going to public safety, 22% to public works, 13% to general government, and 13% to transfer to CIP. And then the sprinkling in of culture and rec as well as refunds. We talked about the $6.5 million investment into capital improvement program. You can see the sidewalk projects that we have at North Meadows. We have some improvements to the infrastructure here at Town Hall, including windows, a generator replacement, flooring. Then we also have large equipment purchases, our standard replacement of our dump trucks. We have had some supply chain delays, and so those are built into this budget for 2025, as well as a leaf truck replacement. I'm sorry, this is a new one. We will be adding to the leaf trucks from 3 to 4. Additionally, we have the traffic signal programs with the Arlie and Green Light Go grants, as well as the continued stormwater improvements associated with the $1.5 million road program in 2025. And then we have some money set aside for the Master Park and Trail Feasibility Plan, which we received a grant for as well. There are no proposed additions or deletions to the 2025 consolidated municipal budget at this time. So what you were presented in the last 2 workshops is what we are bringing to the floor on December 9th for vote. Again, just a recap of the 27 million, 19.8 million in general fund. What's remaining in the process, as I just mentioned, is the December 9th vote at the council meeting at 7:30. We'll review comments from tonight's public hearing, as well as approve the budget at that time. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but I'm done at this point with my presentation.
Are there any initial questions or comments from council before I open it up to public comment? Now is the opportunity for public comment on the proposed 2025 budget. Is there anybody in the audience that has public comment? Going once, twice. If there are no additional questions or comments from council, then we can adjourn the public hearing and return to your regular meeting.
Thank you, and thank you, Ms. Greathouse. You did a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
Are there any public comments on any of the agenda items only? Okay. Then I'd like to have somebody make a motion to approve the minutes. And second?
Second.
Thank you so much. Reports of committees, okay, well, may we take a vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. Put my glasses on, this will make it a lot easier.
Agreed.
Report of Administration and Finance. Ms. Greathouse.
Yes, y'all received the check listing in your packet for October. The total for the check listing for this month is a little over 1.9 million. The reason for that increase this month is, of course, because October is when we make the pension contribution for the police department. For the MMO, it was over $512,000 this year, so that's driving up that typical $900,000 to $1 million for the general fund. And we do that once a year. That comes from state aid. We transfer that to US Bank. Does anyone have any other questions on the check listing?
Would you like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. Make a motion to approve check listing number 10 dated October 1, 2024 to October 31, 2024, totaling $1,976,917.23 as submitted to each member of council and posted on the bulletin board and town website.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. I would like to review the financial dashboard report.
You received October's financial dashboard report in your packet. We are sitting at 83% of budget for revenues and 69% of budget for expenditures. This is consistent with prior years. we did receive $100,000 approximately in real estate transfer tax funds in October after the printing of this report. Otherwise, I have no changes. Does anyone have any questions? There is a slight reduction in expenditures because last year at this time, we had transferred from the general fund to CIP of about 1.6 million. We're only at about 1.2 million this year. We'll do the rest of that transfer actually tomorrow. So that you should see 100% for next month. Yes, sir.
The housekeeping.
It's truly just a housekeeping, timing, when those payments are made. Any other questions on the dashboard?
Thank you, Ms. Greathouse.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Mr. Schwen, would you give us the communications report, please?
Communication report in your packet from John Bajarski highlights the Facebook page and a few of the other outreaches that he does, McMail. If you have any questions specifically on that, I'd be happy to answer.
Just want to make one comment. I think since we redid the website, we've gotten a lot more hits, and it's a lot more welcoming. It's a lot for your edification. What I'm saying is, since we redid the website, and I feel like we're getting more traction and we're getting more people looking at the website. And that's pretty much the whole reason why you redo the website.
Okay, now for the junior council members report, Yuki and Carson.
Hi, everybody. I haven't been here for a little bit, but it's really good to be back and really fun to report my reports. So I really like to highlight the community service work that we've been doing at NA. So first of all is the Feminade Club, which is a service club that raises money for research and community initiatives for women's health. And this month, their fundraising has been for women's cancer research through school bake sales, and they have raised several $100s so far. So it's very impressive. And the North Allegheny Student Council has held their annual food drive initiative this month, and they were able to collect dozens of food and bags to donate. And if you walk into a school, like the entire floor was covered with all these bags and donations, and they're currently organizing them right now. So that's very, very fun. And then North Allegheny Blood Drive, we're actually holding a blood drive, I think tomorrow or Wednesday, somewhere like that. And then we're offering 1 hour volunteer hours to donors. And I think it was a really great educational opportunity for students to learn about the impact of blood donation and community service and things like that. And then lastly is the National Merit Competition. This year we had 17 NASH seniors become National Merit semifinalists, and semifinalists are selected based on their PSAT score, and semifinalists are the top 16,000 test takers out of over 1.5 million across the country. And then they compete for over $26 million in scholarships. So that's what's been happening this month. Yeah.
Yuki, what about the Tiger Toy Drive?
Is that?
It's plastered all over the front of the school. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I've seen that. I think it's for December.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
I was curious to hear from students about the new police structure with the school.
Okay.
If you've had any interactions with the officer assigned to Nash and how students are feeling about the changes that have occurred this year.
I would definitely say we've definitely noticed that there's an increased presence in the officers. We see more like situated in the hallways, but I think there's no negative anything about that. We generally have really positive relationships with the officers. They're very kind and welcoming, I think, rather than intimidating. So I often see students being friends with them or building those relationships. So I think an increased situation or increased placement, it just adds more security, I think. And because we've heard a lot of news about like school violence these days, it's definitely a big plus and positive. Do you have anything to add? Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'll pass it on to Carson now for his comment.
Thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's sure good to be back. As my time as junior councilman for McCandless Township comes to an end, I want to take a moment to reflect what a meaningful year it has been. It has been an incredible experience being part of the inner workings of our town, learning so much about local government and having the chance to make a real difference. One of the highlights of this year was bringing back the mock crash at Nash. It was a team effort to educate students about the dangers of impaired driving, and I'm grateful to have played a part in helping to spread such an important message. I want to thank the entire council, the administration, and our amazing first responders for trusting me and giving me this opportunity to serve. Your support and faith in me made all the difference, and I will always value the experiences I've gained here. I also want to wish my counterpart, Yuki Chen, all the best. I know she'll continue to excel in this role, and I'm excited to see all the great things she'll accomplish. As I move on to my role as the student representative to the North Allegheny School Board, I'll carry with me the experiences that I've learned from this incredible opportunity. Thank you again for making this year so memorable, and I look forward to seeing all the great things this council continues to do for our community. Thank you.
Thanks, Carter.
Thank you. Thanks, Arthur.
Next, the McCandless Industrial Development Authority, Doug Arlo.
Yeah, there was no meeting this past month. There is a interview. We do have an interview for a new candidate, Wednesday morning this week.
Thank you. North Hills Council on Governments. I noticed Jason wasn't there, but the report is in the packet. Yes, if anybody has any questions, they can ask you, John.
Seeing no questions, I'll give no answers.
Okay. Do we have any public comment on Administration and Finance Committee items? If not, then I will pass the baton over to Mr. Arlo.
Yep, report on Planning and Zoning Committee. RJ, if you want to give our staff report.
So I will have a very short report. All that we had end of this month was a mortgage subdivision for McCandless Square Phase 3. There we go. There I am. For McCandless Square Phase 3, it's just what I've previously referred to as a townhome chop up. When you get the foundations in for a townhome building, if they're going to be sold individually rather than as condos, you go in and you subdivide each building off into its own property. We have a much better way to handle this process in the code than we did before, where there's an actual name for this type of simple subdivision, a mortgage subdivision. And we do have it codified now that you don't have to meet like the lot size minimum requirements for what a full development would be in that district. As long as the development as a whole originally met those dimensional standards, you can do a mortgage subdivision under our code. Not that we didn't do them before, but it was a little bit more bootleggy, I'll call it. So anyway, that plan was actually completely compliant as originally submitted. The town engineer had no comments, and it is in good order for town council's approval. So you will see that on your agenda tonight, as well as the Euler lot consolidation plan, which we bumped out for, additional revisions last month. I believe that the minutes, or at least the draft that I've seen, say that we adjourned at 7:07 p.m. So that was pretty thrilling. But
Has to be a record.
it's the shortest that we've had since I've been here, that's for sure. But if anyone has any questions about those 7 minutes or anything else going on in the past month,
I have a
hit
question.
me.
The plan that we had in our packet of the Euler lot, was that with the modifications that were recommended? I kind of saw a couple of them were, like it gave that 15-foot easement versus 10, et cetera.
Yeah, so the comments that you see on Gateway's letter, those are still pursuant to the actual plan that you saw in your packet. Those still need to be done. The reason that I felt more comfortable putting it in front of you guys this month versus last month is because there was better labeling and symbology in terms of what lot lines were being eliminated. So you can tell, without somebody having to explain the plan to you, what's consolidating into what. And that was really the key that I was concerned about last time. So they still need to figure out all of those formatting comments, but none of those things would materially change the plan.
Okay.
Thanks, RJ.
All right.
And Planning Commission, I was unable to attend those 7 thrilling minutes, but RJ did a good job of explaining, and the information's in your packet. If you have any questions. Zoning Hearing Board, Trish.
I think unusually that's been one of the most exciting boards and committees lately. We've had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, had a couple of late nights here. We've been, And I do want to repeat essentially what Mr. Quachek said was the entire process looking and considering a electric billboard at the corner of Cumberland and McKnight. There were a lot of our community, our residents against it. And you know, the appellant made all the case that they could. They were given plenty of opportunity and time, and the board listened. And our residents, including Mr. Wall, were well represented by Mr. Wall and a couple of other residents who were going to be directly impacted by this billboard. But I do want to say, I want to thank our community for the respect, the time, the interest, and it was really great to see community involved in this. And like Mr. Quachek said, just the process, this is what the process is here for, and I'm glad to see people when they're in the audience here. So thank you. And if you haven't heard, as of now, the zoning hearing board has denied the appeal to put that billboard in that corner. Other than that, there's no December meeting, and that's all. And the minutes from September are in your packet.
They need a break.
Thanks, Chris. Any public comment on planning and zoning committee items? I'll hand it over to Mr. Giorgetti, who's not here.
I'll take over for
Yep.
Nick. Some staff reports, Parks and Recreation Coordinator report.
They were in the packet.
It's in the packet. Okay, she's not here.
And I do want to just add, with the Winterfest, just to remind folks too, that, we're partnering this year with North Hills Community Outreach, and you're encouraged to bring canned goods and dry goods. In particular, they're looking for tuna, cereal, cooking oils, peanut butter, laundry soap, and dish soap. So please grab some out of your cabinet before you come to Winterfest.
Thank you.
And make your wife scream at you that you took her.
Maybe I'll just stop at Giant Eagle.
Yeah.
Keep my marriage safe. Liaison reports. Finance Development Promotional Committee for the Heritage Center, Mr. Hart.
The report from the Heritage Center is in your packet. Had the Shining Star Gala. I want to thank everybody that attended. It was a huge success, over $10,000 raised. The final numbers will be out probably in the next month's report. That's all I have.
Thank you. Activities Advisory Ad Hoc Committee, Ms. Clunin.
The ad hoc committee did not meet because most of those folks were working with Winterfest and getting that ready to go for next week.
Understandably. Are there any public comments on Recreation Committee items? If not, we'll move to the town manager's report.
Reports in your packet. I'd be happy to answer any specific questions you had. Highlighted a few things that we've done staffing wise with personnel, with interviews, grant processes, some needing closed out and some just getting started. And you'll see some resolutions for LSA grants later on in the meeting. It's got some work being done in the building with our Emergency Operations Center. Lots of decorating for Winterfest occurred also. Public Works have been hard at work working on Wall Park, and once again received many positive comments for our folks on the leaf collection program this year. So
Great. Engineers report. In the packet.
Kelly's not able to join us tonight. I don't think she's zoomed in.
I'm on here if anyone has any questions.
See you.
Okay.
Any questions?
Fine.
Town Attorney's report.
Please, thank you for having me in Mr. Colble's stead here this evening. The report is in your packet. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them in the executive session.
Great, thank you. Are there any old business items? Any new business items? Yes. Someone like to make a
I make a motion to approve the Euler lot consolidation application submitted by Jason Euler located at 102 Ridge Avenue. Contingent upon all the items being addressed as identified in the town engineer's review letter dated November 22nd, 2024.
Give it a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Next motion.
Oh, yeah. Motion to approve the Blazier Drive subdivision number 5, amendment 1. Mortgage subdivision application submitted by Purdue Surveying, located at Gable Court and Hopkins Street, as reviewed by the town engineer in their letter dated November 11th, 2024, and recommended for approval by the Planning Commission.
We have a second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next motion,
We'll go. We'll take this one. Motion to approve resolution number 15 of the 2024 series regarding an application to the Commonwealth Financing Authority for a local share account grant in the amount of $1 million for the Oak Ridge Culvert rehabilitation.
we have
I'll
a second.
second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? It's unanimous. Motion, the next motion,
Motion to approve resolution number 16 of the 2024 series regarding an application to the Commonwealth Financing Authority for a local share account grant in the amount of $318,000 for the purchase of a leaf vacuum truck mounted debris collector.
Second.
thank you, Don. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Next motion,
I'll do it. Motion to approve, resolution number 17 of the 2024 series regarding the application for the Commonwealth Financing Authority for the local share account grant in the amount of $586,000 for the lining of deteriorating storm sewer pipes.
Second.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes unanimously.
Motion to approve resolution number 18 of the 2024 series regarding an application to the Commonwealth Financing Authority for a local share account grant in the amount of $189,000 for the purchase of 5-inch stores, fire hydrant adapters.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next,
Motion to approve resolution 19 of the 2024 series regarding an application to the Commonwealth Financing Authority for a local share account grant on behalf of the People's District Volunteer Fire Company in the amount of $1 million for the renovation of an existing fire station.
Second.
Don, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next motion,
Motion to approve resolution number 20 of the 2024 series regarding an application to the Commonwealth Financing Authority for a local share account grant on behalf of La Roche University in the amount of $950,350 to be used for the creation of the Center for Wellness and Health Education.
second,
Second, but I think we need to make clear to everybody what this is all about, John.
Certainly. So for resolution 19 and 20, one is one of the town's fire departments who's a 501c3 nonprofit, and La Roche is a higher education institution. Both are eligible for local share assessment grant or local share account money. However, they have to run the application through a municipality, a council of governments, or an authority in order to be able to be eligible for the funding. So both of these projects we do feel would benefit the community as a whole. All of the burden and the work and the cost is borne by those applicants. We're basically a pass-through for it.
You have a second on the floor.
Trish and Joe. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next, any public non-agenda comments?
Company that Paul Wayne has spoken to you, John, in regards to in December 17th. And I would also like to invite the rest of the town council on December the 17th. We'll be having Senator Williams and Representative Van Cat. We will be doing a photo opportunity at allowing the People's Fire Department to get a $500,000 grant in regards to the building reconfiguration project that is also part of the Resolution 19. That building reconfiguration project, I have a cost estimate right now, $3.8 million. And as time goes by, that will continue to increase. But I do personally want to invite all town council members to come that evening, just have us receive that grant on behalf of the sponsorship of Senator Williams and Representative Van Camp, but also thank the council tonight for approval of Resolution 19. Thank you.
Thank
You.
you. Okay. Do you want to make a motion to adjourn?
Is there anybody else?
Nobody online, is there? Okay,
I make a motion to adjourn.
thank you, Jeff. Second,
A second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you all. So,
Thank you.
See ya.